In the early teachings of Aristotle, a practical philosophy for internal happiness was introduced to the world. This philosophy was extended into several aspects of Stoicism, or at least the way that we interpret it today in modern society. At the very core of a lot of Stoic teachings is a trifecta of virtues that serve as the foundation for a happy and meaningful existence. This trifecta is known as Eudaimonia, which roughly translates to supreme happiness, through the Greek words eu, meaning being on good terms with your daimon, or highest self. Isn't that all that we aspire to? To find true happiness in being the best versions of ourselves? Well, the Eudaimonia Happiness Triangle can give you a framework to follow, and that's what we'll be talking a little bit more about today. Before we jump in, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to stay in the loop on more of my weekly releases on the channel. Alright, let's get to it. The first corner of the Stoic Happiness Triangle is live with Arete. In Greek, the word Arete means virtue or excellence. It has also been translated to expressing the highest version of yourself from moment to moment. Now, in order to act with virtue, there's a certain degree of self-awareness and mindfulness that's required. This essentially allows you to, every now and then, take a step back and assess the quality of your decisions and actions. This is basically why I've been striving to allocate more time to meditation and mindfulness in my daily routines. Think of it like this. You have your present version of who you are today, and then you have a future version of who you aspire to be. This is you at your very best self. Now, there's naturally a little bit of a gap between these two versions. Your goal is to bridge this gap so that you can become your ideal self, and living with Arete on a moment-to-moment basis is your way of doing that. It's necessary to stress the importance of focusing on the moment-to-moment aspect of this, because those individual moments eventually compound into substantial amounts of time and lead to significant change. In fact, Emperor Marcus Aurelius has been quoted saying, "We should pay vigorous attention to the performance of the task at hand, with precise analysis, with unaffected dignity, with human sympathy, with dispassionate justice." The second corner of the triangle emphasizes focus on what you can control. This dichotomy of control is one of the cornerstones of Stoic philosophy, and stresses an awareness of the limitations of what we can control, as well as an acceptance of the outcomes that might bring. Now, I know that it is not always easy to accept external events, especially when those events are bad. In that case, try to see them as a trial that life puts in front of you, and exercise to strengthen your character and to become a better person. From my experience, we generally have control over two things: our actions and our judgments. According to the Stoics, we can decide what events mean to us, which are our judgments, and how we want to react to those events, which are our actions. This does take a little bit of getting used to, but it is helpful once you gain a grasp on your choices. For instance, our body is not completely under our control. There are things that influence our body that we have no control over, such as genes or injuries. But we can certainly influence it with our lifestyle choices like diet and exercise. The third corner of the Eudaimonia Triangle is to take responsibility. This is a great complement to the dichotomy of control, because even though we do not control everything that happens in our lives, we do have to take responsibility for our lives. One way that Stoic philosophy presents this is that it is not an external situation that makes us happy or miserable, but our interpretation of that situation. By truly understanding this, you will find that you can construct a tower of strength, where you finally decide that outside events have no more power over you, and that ultimately you are and have always been the master of your own fate. To help illustrate this, I view every situation in life as having a stimulus, or an event that occurs, and then a response, or our reaction. But in between that stimulus and response, we have the freedom to choose our reaction. Sometimes this happens unconsciously and sometimes consciously, but I'm working on trying to make my responses as consciously as possible and strive for the best response that I can. And it all starts with taking responsibility. The three corners of the Stoic Happiness Triangle are very deeply intertwined. By focusing on what we can control in our lives, we're able to take responsibility for our judgments of a situation, and then choose to take action by living as our best selves. It may seem like we're always on this constant conveyor belt trying to find fulfillment, and that the pursuit of happiness is never ending. But if you take nothing else away from Stoicism, you should know that the ultimate goal of life, according to the Stoics at least, is to transform yourself into a better version of yourself, day by day, one step at a time. And now you have the framework to do that. Thanks so much for watching. Definitely check out my other videos on Stoic philosophy right here, and subscribe so you don't miss any of my latest videos. See you next time. Bye-bye.